Hello, everyone. This is the BDE Sports Talk Podcast, where this week we talk about what Monty's message was to his starters. We see how close we are to each other when we review our all-time Pistons starting five. Will Javi Baez finish the season above the Mendoza line? Who knows? Will MSU have to do well in the Big Ten Conference Tournament to make it to the tournament? And we talk about if the Red Wings can bounce back in the weekly Red Wings update. I am Bill, one of your hosts, and with me are also the co-hosts, two men with bulbous heads that contain a couple of the greatest minds of mankind. They piss excellence daily. It's Dean and Eddie. Fellas, I'm running out of things to hype you guys up.
Yeah, I don't know if that hyped me up. That kind of insulted me a little bit.
Yeah,
bulbous.
I'm trying to hold the excellence in, not pee it out every morning.
You just have so much.
So much excellence.
So, all right.
How's your piss, Bill?
Oh, very below average. Tired.
Weak stream.
Pushing 40. So, all right. A couple to-do items, fellas, before we get going. First, if you like today's episode, tap that like button and subscribe to help grow the channel. And speaking of the channel, we're going to be making a couple changes to ours. Since we launched the Wake Up podcast on the BDE channel, we thought about creating a new channel for it, but we've kind of gone too far at this point. So instead, we are going to rename the YouTube channel. So it'll be BDE Podcasts and Media. So that way both podcasts can stay on. Hopefully we can kind of grow the channel in the future. That'd be great. You know, I don't know about having 4 different podcasts with just the 3 of us. It'd be, kind of, whatever. But hopefully we can kind of grow it, and maybe we can get some different podcasts. Dean, you can host a podcast with, I don't know, Taylor. You guys can talk about horse racing, whatever the case may be. I don't know. Speaking of Taylor, thanks again for being our constant social media guy, sharing our stuff, and a lot of other people on with the Wake Up too. So yeah, I want to try to put some different things on the YouTube channel, and I know what you lady listeners are thinking right now, and that content will be on Dean's OnlyFans.
Posted below.
You can give the ladies a preview of what they can expect.
Yeah, let's see a little salt.
Right now. Too much content.
Make them pay for that.
My bad. Sorry, ladies or fellas.
We don't judge.
No judgment.
Also, so Dean, your OnlyFans, do you want to link that? You want me to link that for you? I'll do that for you.
Put it at the bottom. Yeah, thank you.
Get baby paid. All right. So also reminding everyone that if you are feeling a little rumbly in the tumbly, don't hesitate. Get in your car and get to Adobo Boy and get yourself some awesome Filipino food. Adobo Boy is the official sponsor of the BDE Sports Talk podcast. What you are watching right now is a podcast with 3 brothers. We are proud Filipinos, and as well, I don't know if you can tell, but at least 2 of us are hearty eaters. I'm not going to say which 2. I'd say it's all 3 of us.
I do like to eat.
I love food. Adobo Boy delivers amazing food with vibes that are unmatched in the food industry. Not only do they have delicious food, they go against the grain and tinker with their menu to bring you an amazing variety of Filipino cuisine. Their menu rotates weekly, so there's always a reason to come back to try more authentic Filipino cuisines. But one dish you can always count on is Red's Pork Adobo Bowl. We say it every week. Dean describes it every week because it's just that damn good. So good. It's an iconic Filipino dish. Dean, tell us more about that delicious bowl.
Well, thank you. I mean, I got it on the mind right now. I mean, it comes with braised tender pork marinated in vinegar and soy sauce, and comes on a bed of rice with Jackie's achara, or a papaya salad and some cucumber. I like to eat it separately, as Ace recommends himself. Eddie, I know you're a bit of a mixer. I think. What do you think? You think you'd mix it or eat it separately?
I mean, I don't know where you got that. I don't mix at all. But
I thought you were a DJ.
If Ace says to eat it separate, that's all. I'll eat it separate. But I think I would probably get 2 anyway, just to make sure I could try it both ways and see where it goes. I mean, you got to leave your options open. I mean, you can't go wrong when you get 5% off dropping that promo code BD Sports Talk Podcast. So you might as well get 2. You're only going to feel good about it.
Only.
Yep. Your belly will feel great about it. That's for sure. It makes me want
deep
to go
in your
there.
loins.
So if you're into trying new and different food, or just like some amazing adobo and vibes, stop into Adobo Boy, where owners Ace, Jackie, and Son Red are amazing people who genuinely care about your experience there. Eddie, you already hinted to it, but tell what these lucky listeners and watchers win if they go into Adobo Boy and they say BD Sports Talk Podcast.
You go ahead and drop that code. I didn't just hint it. I let it out of the bag.
You did.
To begin with. That's 5% off your entire order just by saying BD Sports Talk Podcast. And enjoy the food, enjoy the atmosphere. You're going to have a great time.
Adobo Boy is open Tuesday to Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch, 5 to 7:30 for dinner, and on Saturday, same schedule except dinner is open for your needs until 8:30 p.m. But you might want to get there earlier if you want that delicious adobo, because I think that baby sells out.
Believable.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So get there early, get there often. Enjoy yourself some pork adobo. Adobo Boy is located at 3740 28th Street, Southeast Kentwood, Michigan, and is inside the amazing Myanmar restaurant. BDE Sports Talk Podcast code 5% off. Get there, get full. So, getting into tonight's episode, a couple quick things that happened since I sent our breakdown. Lions re-signed Emmanuel Mosley. And they are going to let Jerry Jacobs become an unrestricted free agent. I know I didn't really give you time to talk about it, but just your initial thoughts. I guess mainly on Jerry Jacobs, right? Because we didn't get to see a lot of Emmanuel Mosley. So Jerry Jacobs. Dean.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Emmanuel Mosley signing is, it's good because I'm assuming it's a 1-year deal, another prove it deal for him. He can be a solid corner when he plays, so it makes sense for them to bring him back. Veteran, he brings depth, if anything else, hopefully, if he doesn't get hurt again. But with Jerry Jacobs, it also makes sense. If you look at the tail end of the season and they put him on IR or whatever. I know did he actually get hurt, or was that something that they just did? I can't remember. But you could kind of see the writing on the wall. They weren't really trusting him as much, trying to get other guys in. Injuries played a big part of that, but Vildor is Vildor, right? Yeah. In all honesty, he looked probably a little bit better, and he really wasn't fantastic, obviously. Given we were putting him one-on-one with guys that he shouldn't be one-on-one with, but he did his best, and honestly, you could arguably say that he played a little bit better, even with Jerry Jacobs' 3 picks. So, it makes sense, and I feel like they're going to make a splash in free agency for somebody, maybe even draft somebody, or if not both. So,
yeah, no, I agree. It's Mosley. I think what I heard is 3 years, $80 million for Mosley to come back.
Whoa!
It was
changing my
the
tune.
4 plays he was in. They were like, wow, he's got it.
He's amazing.
No, I would assume 1 year, $5 million or less. Something, whatever. Obviously, everybody says when he's healthy, he's got the talent. So we'll see. I don't think put too much into that. I think it's just somebody they're hoping could come through. And if not, it doesn't work out. Jerry Jacobs, I would bet they probably tried to bring him back, but they laid the cards on the table. Like, hey, you're going to be fighting for a backup spot. You're going to be fighting for potentially, we're probably going to be asking you to play special teams and do some other things this year if you want to come back. And to him, he probably feels like he could be the second guy on somebody's team or the next guy up. He probably feels that way, and he should, just for his own confidence. But and he's had streaks where he played pretty decent. So it's there. It's just I don't think it's there for us, especially when we're trying to make that room all around better. And so, yeah, I mean, Jerry leaving, hope you find success if it's not with Chicago. And, good luck to him out there, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. You hope that we're in a year now where we kind of, like you said, improve the room to where Jerry Jacobs wasn't going to be really a factor on the field, right? So, yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there because, it was kind of something that I feel like we could talk about real quick. But let's move on to the Pistons. They signed Taj Gibson to a 10-day contract. Do you think he'll turn the season around?
I'm seeing a win streak coming.
Well, 10 days.
Hard.
That's less than 2 weeks, so it's hard to say.
Oh yeah, we're not there yet.
Yeah,
we're not there. So does the team signing Taj Gibson and buying out players and playing starters less than 30 minutes because they're down 29? Monty is sending message to his guys that, hey, Taj Gibson may take one of your spots, or is Monty being told to tank, essentially?
I mean, it's hard to say. I don't think he's I don't think he's trying to tank, but I don't think anybody'd be upset at this point if they were to maybe lose a few more games. I mean, given they have
lose a few more games.
These teams are just letting them win. I did watch him play the Heat the other night, and I mean, they still lost, but I mean, they looked like they're starting to figure something out. At least be competitive. I don't know. I don't think Monty's phoning it in. I just think that those are just the cards that we're dealt with right now, and we'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah. I do think he's probably sending a message. After the Orlando game, he was talking about how Orlando is a physical team. Teams who play hard like that typically get the benefit of the doubt. He said we spent too much time talking to the referees during that game, and I think that's what makes him start moving people around, kind of like, hey, the excuses are over. You guys just need to play. And I agree with him. I think it's what he's been trying to get out of them all year, and it's just not connecting. I think at some point, the majority of the players stopped caring, obviously. I'm sure many are looking to see if they can get moved out following the season, stuff like that. And so a lot of them are just playing for themselves. How many guys on an 8-win team are going to be playing, or a 9-win team going to be playing really, really tough defense all the time when they all think they're better than where they're at? Right. I guarantee, almost pretty much guarantee there isn't a guy on the team that doesn't think they're better than what they're doing right now. So
right.
It's interesting to me. I think that, Tom Gores and Troy Weaver are at least still 2 weeks ahead of us. So interesting to see. That might really work out in about 4 weeks when there's only 2 weeks left of the season. And I think their 2-week plan is to just get to the end of the year.
Yeah.
But that's 2 weeks away, my friend.
Yeah. So, I don't know. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Tom Gores would have it in him to say tank. I think he just wouldn't care. Personally, you know what I mean? I don't know if he cares if they tank or not. I mean, as long as people go to games and he's making money, which again we've talked about before, makes no sense because if you put a winning team together, I feel like you'll make more money. But hey, whatever. I'm not a billionaire that lives in California and owns a team in the Midwest. So, yeah, I don't think I think you're right, Ed. I think they are sending him a message or sending the starters a message. Monty is. I think you're going to see a lot of change this off season.
I hope so.
Who knows? I say I say that, and then they're still trotting out the same thing. The thing is, a lot of it's youth anyway, right? I mean, with Duran, Cade, Ivy, and Asar and Beef Stew.
There's no like real veteran on the team. You know what I mean? I mean, Taj Gibson.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he brought him in
for 10 days. Yeah, motivational.
Just a little motivation, something. I mean, give him something. He's been in the NBA, been in the league for what seems like 35 years. So,
I mean, dude, that's what I've been saying. Since I think the summer. I mean, really needed a guy that those guys can look up to, like Cade.
Sorry.
Cade runs the place, and there's no frame of reference for what can be done from a guy that he would probably respect. So
they're just paying people in 10-day contracts to come talk to the team.
Yeah,
it's like a spaghetti dinner before a football game.
Yeah.
Is this milk with my spaghetti? Thank you.
So, well, take yourself back and I asked you guys to kind of figure this out. If you could build a starting five of any Pistons player in history with today's rules, okay? Today's rules, what would yours look like, Eddie? And is Isaiah Stewart at the 4 or the 5?
Well, I was really thinking Simone Fontecchio. If I could put him in all 5 positions, that would be a dream. He's okay. I'm just giving it crap.
Yeah, no, I don't mind him at all. Real quick, I wanted to do this because it's something to talk about, but also I want to see how close we are.
I had 2 questions before Eddie goes. One, does it have to be position specific, like shooting guard,
Yes.
or can I like move guys around?
Well, okay. I'll set the parameters at like Chauncey could play shooting guard, but he's obviously not going to play.
Or you could put like Sheet at 5 or
right. You're not going to put Chauncey at center or Ben Wallace at point guard.
Charlie Villanueva at shooting guard.
Yeah,
best piston shooter of all time.
I mean, you got to go with Ben Gordon and Villanueva if you're starting up in all time.
Of course. The 2 most inconsistent guys he could have signed.
So, Eddie, you want to go first?
I'd love to go first.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm not yet. When I did it, I wasn't going with like the literal best 5 players. I mean, that's how it was framed, right? I mean, it's just the best starting 5 you could come up with.
Your best starting 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, within the parameter of Ben Wallace not playing point guard.
Right.
So I think
realistic.
I mean, if not one, but both of these guys probably will maybe make your guys's. But I mean, Zeke and Dumars in the backcourt. I think they're all around offensive and defensive game. I mean, they weren't like like you said, today's rules. It's not like they were Bill Laimbeer out there. They just played really tough D, and they could score from all over the court. And plus, the chemistry that they have naturally is almost unmatched. At the 3, I went with Grant Hill. In his prime, unstoppable almost. Yeah, that's strong, but top tier. He had Sprite commercials. Okay, that tells you
They thought
That
he was
tells you
going to be the next
something.
MJ. You know,
It felt that way.
Yeah,
It felt that way. At the 4, going with Bob Lanier, greatest low post scorer in Pistons history. Averaged about 16 boards a game. So you got offense plus down low, and at 5, I got to go Big Ben. Just the greatest defender in Pistons history. So I think it's very well-rounded lineup. Zeke, Dumars, Grant Hill, Bob Lanier, Ben Wallace.
It's a good list.
it's a good lineup.
But it's
The
wrong.
best one of the 3 of us. I mean,
but you're wrong again.
It is wrong again.
You've been pretty good at these, like with the draft, and we had the draft back. What, episode 3? So many moons ago. We were so moons.
Young. I mean, I definitely won the Thanksgiving draft.
I don't know about that.
I think that was.
I took last
question.
I would argue
as an all-around meal.
I mean, if you want to count freaking prime rib. It's traditional thing.
Hey, guess what? At Old Country Buffet, where we spent some Thanksgivings, they had prime rib, baby.
Yeah, they also had tacos, Ed.
Well, then you could have made that your main. But prime rib is not crazy.
No, it's not.
I know it's not.
I used to have tacos when we'd go to Old Country.
Dean, you want to go next? You want me to go next?
I don't care. It's up to you.
Go ahead.
Okay. Mine's similar to Eddie's, but a little bit different. But I went with Isaiah Thomas at the point guard. I went with Chauncey at shooting guard. I think because Isaiah is just a good overall scorer. I mean, he's a good facilitator too, but I think Chauncey would really help dish that out a little bit more. Then I took Grant Hill at small forward as well. Because, I mean, like I just said, I mean, they thought he might be the next MJ. I mean, he was sick when he was healthy, you know. And then I went with Rashid. I went with the Wallace boys at power forward and center. You can't not pick Big Ben for center.
You went with that part-time rental, Rashid?
Well, he spreads the floor. That's the main reason I wanted him on my dream lineup. Spreads the floor. Good. Plays good defense. You know, I mean, yeah. I think that back court or that front court, chemistry wise, kind of like with Isaiah and Joe Dumars, I think that front court has.
Don't compare them.
Chemistry. That would be my 5
for sure.
Okay, I went. I mean, the 1, 2, and 3 are all the same. Isaiah Thomas. I kind of went position specific. I actually not kind of. I did. So I kind of just compared the greatest with the greatest. Isaiah Thomas, but point guard. I love Chauncey, but Isaiah averaged 19 points, 9 assists a game. Joe Dumars for his defense. Four-time all defensive first team. Averaged more points than Chauncey, I believe, as well. So Grant Hill, Sprite commercials.
He's just hating on my
Dean's looking real stupid right now, isn't he?
This was my favorite player growing up. That's all. Whatever.
This is what
I'm out of my own basketball game.
I wanted
to fine. No, it's fine. Sorry, I couldn't be Joe Dumars out there. You know?
Power forward. I wanted so bad to take the worm, but I went with Rashid. Not the right pick. I think Rodman was probably the better pick, but my heart was Rashid.
Depends on what you're going for.
Right. So unpopular pick, but I went with Bob Lanier instead of Ben Wallace. In today's NBA, you need points. Bob Lanier averaged 20.1 points a game, averaged 10 rebounds a game to Ben's 9.6, had 2 more assists a game than Ben Wallace, and only trailed Ben Wallace by a half a block a game.
I mean, you have Rodman on your list. But...
No, I have Rashid.
Oh, that's right.
Rashid.
Rodman. I was like, man, I mean, you said you went for points, and then you had Rodney on your list. I was like,
And that's not anything to take away from Ben. Both great players. It's just I was just looking at it like, well, you're going to need to score 130 points a night, and Ben's. And I mean, Ben has his place there too. That's the thing. You really could interchange them depending on what you wanted to do. But so that's my 5. Essentially, all 3 of us had. Oh, no, you didn't have Joe Dumars.
Yeah, you're just hating on Chauncey. Like he didn't win an NBA championship or something. I don't know.
He didn't win 2.
Ooh, that's true. That is true. He also wasn't the GM for the Pistons for a while.
That's true. That means Joe D has 3.
There is no Chauncey without Joe D.
Oh.
Joe D.
So, all right. Well, from a terrible basketball season to spring training and baseball for the Tigers, wanted to ask you guys real quick, like I said in the intro, what is more likely to happen, you guys think? Javi hitting above 300 or finishing the season below the Mendoza line under 200?
I don't know what you're talking about. He's at mid-season form right now.
So below the Mendoza line.
I mean, unless something happens where he just sees the ball all of a sudden, or they put a really, really incredible bat in front of him like he had. I mean, or guys just around him like he had in Chicago where he had to see pitches, I mean, he's not gonna. It's gonna be below that Mendoza line that you'd be speaking of. That's what I think. But I mean, it's crazier things happen.
Definitely more likely, I feel like.
Yeah, even if you just watch his highlights of him swinging and missing at the pitches that he's swinging and missing on are it's insane. Like what he's swinging at, it's like, I don't know, man. I hope. I mean, all we can do is hope that he does something. But yeah, probably not.
The thing is, it's not insane. What makes it as insane is that he's being paid over $20 million a year to do that.
Mm-hmm.
If spring training's any indicator, he's still at 0 hits. So yeah, he's as far below the Mendoza line as you can get. I mean, before the season even starts. We'll see. Yeah, I'm not counting on it. I wouldn't put money on him to do it. I certainly wouldn't put money on him to hit over 300. I don't know if he's ever done that. Maybe one season. Maybe. But he's not gonna.
Yeah, I think it's more likely for him to hit under 200 at this point, which is sad to say, but
a lot of hope when they signed him. A lot of hope.
Well, we'll see. Maybe he'll see this and learn how to.
El Avila's piece de la raisons. His final masterpiece leaves a player option, no team options at any point in this contract.
So, fellas, now you didn't like Sparty's chances against Purdue when we got together last week. Fought hard, just couldn't get there. Lost to Purdue, what was it, 80-71? I think right around there. So if MSU loses tonight, which before we recorded, which is against Northwestern, and they were losing at halftime, will they have to play pretty well in the conference tournament to make the tournament? Do you think? Or do you think they're still in?
I mean, they have to win a game in the conference tournament because currently they're struggling against Big Ten teams right now. So, I mean, if they could pull off maybe 1 or 2 wins, I think that helps their cause depending on who they beat. But it's hard to say. I thought they've been on the bubble for a while, but I did read an article that said that if they won tonight, that they'd be in for sure. So, but if they lose, then it's like, heart pumping over Selection Sunday, and we'll see what happens. You might be the team that gets cut, whatever. But I do think, though, if they were to make the tournament, I do think that they'll probably play better than they did in the regular season. I don't know what it is. It always just seems to be that way, but maybe not. It always seems like the lower seeded ISO teams in the tournament tend to do better than you'd expect. So I don't know. I think they can make some sort of noise, maybe a little bit, maybe get lucky, get to Sweet 16 if they're lucky. But that's you give me that look like that's crazy. Like, no, that's if they're lucky. They have to be absolutely lucky, but they also have to win. They have to win at least one or two more games, in my opinion. But we'll see.
Ed, you're wearing the jacket.
Yeah. They got to win. I mean, like you said, it makes sense if they win tonight that they'd be locked in, because that'd be another quality quad 1 win for the resume. Checking this morning, they were still a 9 seed on the bracketology guys. They lose today. I mean, you got to beat Indiana, and you probably have to win one game in the conference tournament to get in, which are obviously doable things, but who knows? It'd be nice to get off of that 8-9 line and try and get into the lower half of any bracket. Because, I mean, you don't want to win one and try and play a 1 seed to get into the Sweet 16. Right. If you even have a chance at it. I don't know if they're going to play better in the tournament or not. I mean, the teams that don't play well and turn it up a little bit are the teams that can shoot. And we don't know when they can shoot. And I don't know if AJ Hoggard is going to even be there in the building, because some days it just feels like he's not at all. And he's not driving to the hoop. And you're like, dude, like, what are you doing out here? You should see. I saw a graphic of his shooting chart this season, and it is atrocious. He's only warm from like 2 spots on the court. Everywhere else is pretty rough. So he needs to be a catalyst, and I think that's a big reason of the drop off. Otherwise, you got to have guys like Malik Hall or Tyson Walker to have big games to win. And it was crazy to me that going into tonight, MSU was an 8.5 point favorite over Northwestern. I said, I don't even know how that's possible. Like, Northwestern's 3rd in the Big Ten.
Right.
And Boo Buie was playing tonight. And so I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, if they lose tonight, you got to beat IU. You got to win at least one conference tournament game. Otherwise, you shouldn't get in.
Are you guys? I don't know if you guys are recording this or not.
I'm not.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to jinx it, but they are up 51-46 with 1:35 to go.
Okay.
So
see, OSU drilled that 3 to win it. So
right. That's why I was like, I'm not about to say it's over by any means, but 51-46 with 1:35 to go. Sparty on top.
Sounds like Northwestern's got it locked up for sure. No problems.
No reaction. Quick work.
Light work. No reaction. Like you're just watching TV. Exactly. It's light work. It's light work.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens, but let's get into the weekly Red Wings update. The fellas dropped 2 tough ones this week to the Islanders and a shutout to Florida. Guys, to add on to that, Dylan Larkin's out for 2 weeks. Could have won that Islander game. I think they fell victim to playing Florida's game Saturday. Extremely chippy. Definitely a game that's what Florida does. how important are the next 4 games against Colorado, which is tonight, Wednesday, the Coyotes Friday, Vegas Saturday, and Buffalo next Tuesday? How important?
All on the road.
Yeah. So how important is the stretch, especially without Dylan Larkin?
I mean, I think it's super important. I mean, I think at this point, especially when you're the leading wild card team, every point is going to matter, no matter what. At this point, for sure, they're gonna have to do something. I know with having Larkin out, it is going to be tough, but they still have guys. We'll see. They could easily catch another spark again, but I mean, then they could also go on a trip. I mean, they got these are tough few games coming up, but they're a solid team. So I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. It's tough to say, but I do think that they do. These are all very important games. Any point that they get now is needed, especially as a wild card team.
Before you go, I agree that regardless if Larkin's playing or not, they're important games. So, Eddie, your thoughts? Sorry,
I forgive you. Yeah, they are.
Thank you, sir.
They are big games. I mean, like you said, that Islanders game would have been real nice to have won, considering they're the next team out of the wild card race. The next. I mean, out 2 weeks, that's like 8 or 9 games ish. And so hopefully that means Larkin's back for the next Islanders game, and hopefully it still means the same thing. I would assume it does. Mm-hmm. And it kind of goes back to the guy I was talking about last week, where Lucas Raymond kind of needs to step up and keep being that dude he's been doing, and maybe playing that first line with them. I don't know if he started there tonight. If has the game even started yet?
No, it starts at 9:30.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm curious to see what kind of lineup they throw out there for that, and yeah, we'll see. They're big games. I mean, you hope to split these 4 road ones. Beating Colorado would be real sweet tonight, but you never know, man. You never know. Just need to bide our time till Larkin gets back and stay in a nice spot in the wild card race.
Real quick update. 51-49 with 16 seconds to go, and Northwestern has the ball.
Yeah. That's the 3 right there.
That's the 3 that you're looking at. So yeah, no, I agree. I completely agree with you guys. Very important stretch really to the rest of the season. If you can get over 93 points, 94 points, 93 points, I'm sorry. It seems like you're in. 96 points is way too much. So 94, 95, the sweet spot.
You can never have too many.
Well, I mean, Jimmy Howard says it is too much. So 94 and 95.
This is too much.
Yeah. So yeah. We'll see how things go tonight. I mean, your captain being out is huge, but you need guys to step up. This is a time to do it. You got one of the greatest players to play on your team. Time for him to step it up since he hasn't.
Yeah, Petrie really needs to start scoring some goals here.
Petrie just needs to play. So
yeah, it'll be nice to see the opportunities that like DeBrincat and Raymond will get from Patrick Kane.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on what line Lalonde puts together.
That's true too.
I mean, it just seems
you would assume, right, that they would just put Raymond on the starting lineup with Kane and Larkin, or Kane and DeBrincat.
It's hard to say. You might want to leave that line with him and.
It's true. He's been good on that second line too.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? He changes lines so much. You would think when you saw Larkin, DeBrincat, and Kane playing together that you would just keep that line. No one was hurt, and he just. Never mind. Whatever. I'm not a head coach. I'm not a smart hockey guy. Whatever. It just upsets me when he keeps changing stuff. But I would never do that in NHL 24.
They have to change lines during the game, Bill, or else they get too tired.
No.
He's always putting new guys on the ice.
Yeah, I don't get it. Why don't you just leave those three guys out?
They're doing so good.
Pick it up, Larkin. Why do you look so tired?
Yeah. 10 straight minutes on the ice.
Coach.
Line change, please. Stay. So, all right. Well, fellas, that's going to do it for this week. If you like today's episode, nice and quick, click that like button, click that subscribe. We thank you for the support. Again, to everyone that shares, likes. Now the next thing is to comment. Everyone, comment. Get that engagement number up for us. I'm not going to say it's a challenge.
Yeah, Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just Taylor.
You would comment that, man.
So the thing is, like, the people that I know that listen to this are usually listening to it. They're not watching it on YouTube.
So you're saying the people that you know that listen to this? Listen, they don't watch it. So, yes, thank you for the support. Everyone, have a great week, and we will see you next week on the BDE Sports Talk podcast.
Sports Talk.